Well, I think what they could expect from me, number one, is, as I said, a great interest in seeing our city really pull together as Philadelphians. We're historically a city of diverse neighborhoods, which is, on the one hand, wonderful because it offers variety, different perspectives, different ethnic groups. But on the other side, it has also been somewhat divisive, and we have different neighborhoods pitted against each other. So I think one is that I believe that our city is kind of a reflection of the global um, uh, economy. We can get all our people and neighborhoods together and moving in one direction and really recognize the value of interacting with the world, both in culture, economy, and tourism, and many other things. But that begins with a respect for people and a respect for what they have to offer.
Okay. You mentioned this briefly before about Philadelphia being more of a global city.
Yeah.
What are your plans to increase that livelihood?
Well, there's really kind of, I think, five things that I think are important for a city, even when we talk about a global city. One, of course, is a international approach to the economy, a creative, innovative economy being developed here in Philadelphia. The next one has to do with the same things that most people are concerned about wherever they live in our city. One is good education. The second is safe streets, public safety. The third is, a good quality of life in the neighborhood that they live in. And the final thing would be an efficient and honest government. Those things are important not only to the people of Philadelphia and to business owners and people who want to be employers here, but also to international visitors, students, and investors. So to attract overseas corporations to invest and develop and to employ people in Philadelphia, we have to be concerned about those five things as well. I think for me, one of the first things I would like to do and have already started is conversation with the government representatives of countries like China and Korea because of the opportunity for investment dollars and emerging global corporations that have not fully decided on where they're going to be located in North America. I handled Governor Tom Ridge's trade mission to Korea, and so I have some experience with that. And while it's not a great deal of experience, it is experience that is very important to kind of see how corporations and governments overseas work together and how they decide where they're going to be, why they're going to be there, and what our opportunities are. I think in doing that, one of the things that I don't think we do very well as a city is we don't reach out. And it sounds odd, but we're kind of an unfriendly city when it comes to that type of thing. We have to be friendly. We have to make it a point to reach out to people across the world. We have to respect them. I think we have to establish some protocols in our city. I have been to other cities, and I could tell you there's a great difference between when someone from Philadelphia, for example, visits a foreign city, how well we're treated, how respectfully we're treated, just the opportunities in comparison with how people are treated when they come to Philadelphia. So I think it's very important that we really, as a government, really establish ourselves both from a governmental point of view and with our private sector businesses and nonprofits in really reaching out and attracting and bringing in interested investors and businesses. 150, 300, or 500 people in our city.
What's your opinion about undocumented immigrants?
Well, undocumented for me means simply undocumented. And since I practice immigration law to some degree, someone is documented one day, the next day they may be undocumented, and the day after that they could be documented. Undocumented is something that many times can be corrected, changed, things like that. So whenever a person is here legally or can be here legally, I always favor that person. When a person is not here legally and they cannot be here legally, then I am for enforcing the law. They're not going to be able to stay here legally, and I think that's going to be an issue. So, I think those are the categories for me. That means, I think it's a polarizing kind of issue for many people. I have worked to help many people who are undocumented become documented, and there's several ways to do that, where persons who have fallen out of status or weren't in status can become, have status here. There are people who have been here quite a long time without documentation. They pay their taxes, they're participating in the community, and I tend to hope that they will have the opportunity to live as citizens in this country, or certainly permanent residents. As a government official, I think it is important to ensure that we do enforce the law, and there are laws to be enforced. So I think it is a matter of degree. I'm not going to ignore the issues of undocumented persons, but I think when it comes to the enforcement issues, which are now developing between the federal government and the states and the cities, I think the cities are in different types of situations. We're not rural areas. We very much want to have populations. We want diversity. We want people to contribute, and we want to have people live, in the most productive manner in our city.